So I talked a few days ago about patterns and shapes, and knowing that all the shapes that we know and seeing patterns in our world results in kids starting to have that concept that words are a collection of letters and letters are constructed with shapes or with lines and you know, things that don't seem to be literacy, but they are. And there are lots of activities that you can do, but like I said a couple of days ago, it's really important that none of the activities you do are silent. They must be spoken. There must be lots of oral language happening. There have to be lots of sounds happening so that your kids understand that letters and words link to sounds and noise and words. Eventually, when they're much older, they will be doing it in their head like we can. But it's really important that it is actually a verbal task, an oral task from the beginning. So I'm going to dive straight in and show you the activity today so that you can see what I'm doing. So it's really important that we start to expose kids to the shapes of different letters. And also, we don't want to be too restrictive in the letters that we use. We don't want to only use lowercase or only use uppercase. And we want to vary our font slightly sometimes as well, and not just have school type font in every single thing we do, because the world is unfortunately not like that. It has so many different fonts and different ways of writing. So we really want kids to start getting used to the shapes that they can see. But when we do work on letter shapes and we're looking at shapes, we also want to be talking about sounds and the letters' names. So I don't intend for this to be a strict activity where we are working on letter names and sounds, but it is a really good opportunity for it. And we can trace with our finger. But what I really love is putting these water beads inside these cookie cutters. They fit really, really nicely. I was quite lucky with that. And each time we put a water bead in, we can say the sound. So it's and then maybe we can do v, 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 v. It's always satisfying when it fills up perfectly. V. Whoops. V. So my kids just absolutely love this activity, and they love doing it with shapes as well, or animal cookie cutters, any type of cookie cutters. And we always love water beads because they just feel so beautiful. But just give it a go and see how you go. Really using lots of repetition, lots of sounds. And I am not an OT, but I have learnt a few things across the years in working very closely with OTs. And you'll see just then when I was putting the beads in, I'm only using one hand. So I'm actually holding some in my hand and I'm able to get one, they are quite slippery, and put it in without having to use my other hand. So with your little ones, obviously we are going to be expecting them to start off using pincer grip, or actually grabbing it with quite a few fingers because it is slippery, and then over time being able to just use one hand. And they might be able to do that with a different filler, like maybe beans or rice that aren't so slippery. And you can use scoops with rice. You can use oats, you could use quinoa, you could use pasta, you could use whatever you have, just to fill these cookie cutters up with beads. So let me know how you go with this one, because it's very simple, but really effective for just getting lots of exposure to sounds and letter shapes.